from the gym at the Microtel, and we are going to jump on everyone's favorite treadmill. I'll do another front view so I can somewhat see the chat, but we're just doing a 30 today, I think. I thought about doing a 45, but I'm just doing a 30 because I'm not trying to overdo or kill myself, but I have to find a workout now. I'll probably have to repeat one. But yeah, I've only got a mile in today, so this is what sucks about this job. Like I said, this job just drains every bit of life out of me. So let me get a treadmill workout going. A new 10-minute one. I've done that. Just gonna scroll till I see a 30-minute one I haven't done. If that's like super, oh, what's this? Oh, these are just speed pushes. I can do this. Hills and speed pushes. Each 2 minutes, all hard intensity. No all outs. Let's go ahead and fire up the treadmill. There we go. Get up to about 2 miles an hour and start the workout. I should have brought the iPad down here. I forgot I had that.
My friends and teammates here. Coming from the Fitness Plus studio in Los Angeles. In this 30-minute tempo workout, we are pushing to a hard intensity 7 times. 3 times with hills and 4 times with our speed. For our next challenge, no easy recoveries.
Oh, no easy. Okay.
Intensity after each hard push. We're going to lean into one of my favorite mantras for this one. Everything is awesome. Let's go. We're just helping you.
After this, I'm going to read.
And go ahead and get your treadmill started if you haven't already. Get yourself moving. I'm keeping myself under 2 miles an hour, under 3 kilometers an hour. Nice easy walk here as we do some warm-up drills. Grab your handrails here and push your way to the front of your foot so your heel rises up off your treadmill. All right, I want you to connect to your mind, your body, your breath. What do you feel like? Nice little squeeze in your calf muscles right behind your shins. All the little muscles in your feet waking up.
I'm going to go ahead and get up the base pace here. This ain't going to be too hard of a workout. Get up to 4 miles an hour and 5. We're actually working up to 5 miles an hour. Which I think I can handle. 5 is comfortable. There, we're there. This is base pace. Today's plates are not just today's plates. Yeah, this is doable. 171. Incline, probably 6.5 miles an hour. Yeah, we're closing the rings. We got 14 minutes of hard work. Start at 6 miles an hour. Run up a little faster. Get the feel of it. Back to base, please. All right, 2 speed pushes. Try 8. Yeah. Moderate 5. Woo. That was tough. All right, back to moderate. Back to 8, hard. Moderate 5. We got a hill. 6 more minutes of water. Hard 8, 2 minutes. That's where my heart rate comes from. Heart rate recovery. And here we go again. Last speed push. Brother. One more hill. Lie still. We're gonna say 5. Yeah. 150 more feet, so we got a 5K. We got a 5K. We got a 5K. I think I need to walk it out at 3. All right. Another day I'm not going to get my 10,000 steps in because of this damn job. This job ruins everything. I'm only at 7,500 steps for the day. It'd take me about 30 minutes of walking at this pace to get the 10,000 steps. I'm not going to see her walk for another 25 minutes. I can't wait to leave the railroad. Let me see if the watch is updated. Yeah, it would take me about 30 minutes of walking at this pace. It would take me about 30 minutes to get those 2,500 steps in. I think I got a 5K out of tonight's. Yeah, I did. I'll probably eat the hot pot when we get upstairs. I can tell I'm losing weight based on the way my pants feel. Last time I weighed in, I was at 150.8. I'd say I'm probably about 148, 149 right now. Resting heart rate's coming down, which is really good. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of good for my heart by doing these daily workouts. I only get 2 steps a second. "17 minutes in the cardio zone, that's really good for me. I'm at 7,700 steps. I might get 8,000 steps in. This damn job just ruins everything. Stopping. Okay, now I can go up the steps. I got my exercise for the day. Let's see here. Well, I've got almost 50 miles in this month. That's the most I've done in shit. $38. That's the most I've done since last July. So I'm proud. There's still a few more days to get some runs in. All right, now we're gonna go upstairs and eat the Hot Pocket. That'll be 1,000 calories for the whole day. So yeah, I earned the Hot Pocket. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Got the center and the square panel, so that was always a good thing. Gosh dang it. We're gonna microwave a Hot Pocket. Which is 370 calories. And then I'll probably eat 600 calories when I get called to work. Whew. So now we are going to eat. Oh great, I have the heater on in here. Need to cool off, then take a shower. Set on 68. Now we are going to have 370 calories here. Right here. With this, shit, I dropped it. This Hot Pocket. This will be good, y'all. It's going to turn into a food review. It's a mediocre Hot Pocket. Here we go. Let's give it a little over a minute. Feel good. This is a pepperoni pizza one. I want to get the mozzarella ones. They're only 300 calories a piece, but this is what Zach bought me. So this is what I'm stuck with. Like I said, I know I'm losing weight. I can tell clearly by the way my pants are sitting. I'm probably going to gain a little bit of weight from running because my muscle mass is rebuilding. I have ran every day for the past week now, be it outside or on a treadmill. Now, when I get home, I'm going to do another outdoor run. And when I take my trip, I hope to be running outdoors. Zach is doing good. Because honestly, running is a good way to explore a place. This is just about done. It's at 0, but there it goes. Ding! Let it cool off in there for a minute before I grab it. When I was a kid, a microwave oven was a big deal. It smells so good. Okay, I got a question. Can someone do me a favor? Please look up how many calories are in a pepperoni pizza Hot Pocket, please. I don't know if it's 330 or 370. It's one of the two. Can someone look up how many calories are in a pepperoni pizza Hot Pocket? I used to have it memorized, but I haven't had one in a while. I know it's either 330 or 370. If someone can tell me that, I can put it in my journal. Yeah. Holy crap, who gave us 20 bucks? Oh my God, who was it? 310, thank you. Pepperoni pizza Hot Pocket is 310. Oh, 327.7, okay. So it's right at 330. So I'll put 330 in there. That's our happy medium. But, who gave us the super chat? It must have happened while I was on the machine. 965 calories for the day. Let's get this soggy thing out of the... Who was it? There, I'm less than 1,000 calories today. Yesterday was 21, the day before was 16. You know another thing? Evie, thank you. If you are still here, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry I couldn't see it. I'm sorry I couldn't see it because I was on the treadmill. Now, when they posted the super chat, do they have a specific question they wanted me to answer? Okay. There we go. Basically, I'm eating the same amount of calories I burned during the workout. But I have eaten 965 calories today. And total burn, let me get my Apple Fitness app. Total burn is 2267. So I'm 1,000 calorie deficit. I wish I could get those 10,000 steps in for the day though, but I'm not walking 2,000 steps. That's like half mile. That treadmill workout was good. Basically, what I do on the treadmill, the elliptical is a lot easier on your joints, but if you have good legs, you can use a treadmill. What I do on the treadmill, obviously my workouts are coached. They're coached. So, like I said, don't use these as figures. Everyone's speeds are different, but for me, on a 1% incline, below 4 miles an hour is easy. 4.5 to about 6 is moderate for me. Once I get up around the 8 mile an hour range, or the 7 to 8, that's hard. And pretty much anything like 9 and higher is all out for me, meaning I cannot hold the speed for a long period of time. But like I said, every person is different. Those are just what works for me at my current fitness level. Because obviously my fitness level degraded quite a bit over the past year because I didn't exercise properly. But I'm doing it every day. If I lay up here past midnight, I may go down there a little after midnight and do another workout. I guess I got enough sleep today. But yeah, I'm just a little bit irritated. I can't get my damn 10,000 steps in. Like I said, this job could foul up anything. Oh, sugar. But my pants are starting to fit right again. I haven't weighed in a few days. Let me see the last day I weighed. I weighed on April 24th. And then before that, April 13th. When did I get back from Hawaii? April 13th, I was 152.5. April 24th, 150.8. I would assume I'm about 149 right now if I had to guess. like I said, I'll get back to where I need to be. And like I said, every run, my legs are sore, so that's good. That means it's improving. If your body is sore after exercise, that means you hurt your muscles and they're going to have to rebuild. And when they come back stronger. So, like I said, I mean, it's getting gradually better. So, on my last outdoor run, let me see how I did. Or sessions. It was Friday. 9 minute and 30-second pace. I mean, it went better. Let's see here. Yeah, I got an 8 minute and 57-second mile at the end, so it's improving. Improvement. As one of my trainers said, the more time you spend outside your comfort zone, the bigger your comfort zone becomes. So yeah, my goal is just to push myself on every workout to a challenging and uncomfortable pace. I don't go all out unless, like, I mean, for brief periods of time. Like, the longest I can run at about 10 miles an hour for is maybe a minute. And then I have to take some fuel off. But like I said, every time I hit that treadmill, every time I run outside, I'm showing my body some self-love and I'm getting improvement. Another thing with exercise, you don't want to overtrain either. That's why I'm not doing more than 30 minutes. I do max an hour a day. Max an hour a day. Let's see this. I want to hear this.
Hi, Somerville! Guess what? I got a trainer, and his name is DieselDucy Elevator.
I should have done that in Hawaii, but I couldn't. I should have done that on top of the parking garage at the mall. I'm going to save that and send it to Zach. Someone else shot a DieselDucy? Let me forward that to Zach. Where'd it go? He must have done it a few days ago. Because it's not in my photo library. Let's see here. Recent days. That was April 5th. Oh, that was a while back. Let me send that to Zach. You have to be subscribed to Apple Fitness Plus, which is like $10 a month or $70 a year. I do it by the year just because it's cheaper. I'll show you some screenshots from Apple Fitness Plus. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Let's get into... Okay, you have to have an Apple. I mean, you don't have to have an Apple Watch now. I mean, it helps to have an Apple Watch. If you really want to track your workouts, you have to have one. But you get in the Apple Fitness app, and there's Fitness Plus down there. And then there's all these different activity types you have. You have meditation, strength, HIIT, yoga, core, Pilates, dance, kickboxing, cycling, treadmill, rowing machine, and then a cool down. Team Treadmill is right in here, and here's all the different workouts. Say you want to do this 20-minute one, you click it, and then you pick whether you want to run or walk it, and it'll track accordingly. But like I said, you have to have an Apple Watch to get accurate calorie counts on it. Or some type of fitness tracker that hooks up to the iPhone. Like I said, it's $70 a year, and for me, it's been well worth it. For me, because I'm always doing the workouts. And they also have coached walks and runs too. They have, let me back out. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I do. 30 minutes a day. They have coached. Let's see here. Where is it? They have coached walkings, coached runs. Ooh, is this a no? And like they have different cities that they give you, like they talk about the city and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But all of these are coached runs, and they send pictures to your Apple Watch. Let me go back to my Fitness Plus and sessions. Oh, I forgot to flip the camera. But yeah, like I said, it's fun. It's fun. But I am taking a trip this weekend. I may live stream on it, I may not. But obviously, just the fact that this trip has every minute planned, I'm not disclosing where because I'm not doing meetups this trip. Unless I got an email about doing an autism outreach. I will pretty much drop what I'm doing to do an autism outreach. I don't know where I'll be Saturday. I mean, obviously, if I do an outdoor run, I never stream those because I can't carry a phone with me. I was showing off some of my pictures from back when I used to drive a truck. Let me go back to, wow, we're going to go back to 2003. This is in 2003. This is in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Oh my gosh, this building burned down. They had a 1950s glass Westinghouse elevator. I had my damn camcorder in the car. I wish I had filmed it. But this building burned down. This was the Majestic Hotel in Hot Springs, Arkansas. But it burned down. They had Otis, Westinghouse, and an Esco. They had an Esco, but this place burned down. Honestly, I think every elevator needs an emergency stop because I almost lost my hand in an elevator that didn't have one. Like if your hand gets caught in the door or something. All right, these are old pictures. This is 2003. There's downtown Paducah. Yes, I know what you're talking about, Jim. And we can do that sometime. And there's Christy. Oh, look at my old driver's license. This is my Kentucky driver's license. This is a driver's license from 2003. There's Melinda. Look how small Nick is back then. God, I was fat back then. Look how big my face is. That's an old iBook G4. All right, this is when I started driving a truck. I think that's the first truck I ever drove. That was Christy and Scott. Here's Melinda. And then I went off to truck driving college. This is when I was doing my CDL training. I drove this truck. It's inside an old International. There's the Comfort Inn Red Horse. As of a year ago, they still had an old Montgomery elevator. There's the first truck I got solo. Truck number 31536. A Walmart parking lot. That was my sleeper. This place has been redone. I got my CDL in 2003. And there's my second truck. Oh, this is funny. I think that's in Georgia. There's driving in Canada. Yes, I took pictures while I was driving. This is when I got married. There's one picture I want to skip because I'm kind of naked. This was when I got married. April 24th, 2024. Oh my God. If I was still married this month, a few days ago would have been my 21st wedding anniversary. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm in a good place now. It was awful, but I'm not getting into that. I was huge back then, too. I'm going to skip the wedding. We went to Chattanooga on our honeymoon. That was a view from the hotel. I think I was divorced in 2018. This is Chattanooga, Tennessee. God, I was huge back then. I'm just wondering how much damage I did to my health being obese for like, shit, let me think. 98, 08, almost 20 years I was obese. No, 98, 08, 8, yeah, 25 years of my life I spent being obese. This is 2004. I recently went here with Zach. Here I am back on the road. This is like the first time I saw a tornado. You have to really look at the screen to see it. But you can see a tornado funnel right in there. I guess she's doing okay. I haven't talked to her in a couple weeks, but that's the first time I saw a tornado. Yeah, you can see the funnel in the center of your screen. This was in Colorado. And then there's a rainbow right after it. I wish I could geotag some of these photos, but I don't remember where they were. There's Nick sitting in the driver's seat of my truck. Nick is the best thing that came out of that marriage because I love Nick to death and Nick loves me. There's when I was at a drop lot in Chicago. This was just a family reunion with Melinda. We went to Washington, D.C. This was obviously during some of my home time. Oh, this is a hilarious photo. This was in Laredo. This was in Laredo. See Schneider National Carriers, a truck being towed in that broke down. It's in Laredo, Texas. Talk about a crappy town. Laredo, Texas kind of sucks. There's my old computer. My Game Boy. Oh yeah, I stopped at the Iowa 80. I'm on iPhoto. This is iPhoto or Photos. There's Whataburger. This is back in the day. There's my old cell phone, old flip phone. This was up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Where'd those? That must come off another camera. There's Glenn. I was obviously at home during this time. I think we went to Virginia Beach. Okay, this is in Allegheny Reservoir. There's my truck on the side of the road. Grandma. I use Final Cut Pro. It's a 300. This is Punta Gorda, Florida, after the hurricane had hit. Did a lot of damage down there. I think this is why I went. There's Driving in the Rain. That's the house. Me and Melinda. The hurricane was in 2004, I think. Me and Melinda rented that house. Look, there's Melinda on my old cell phone. Yep, I went to Massachusetts a few times. I don't know if I have any pictures up there. This is on the Blue Ridge Parkway. This is now the lobby of the Hampton Inn at the Market Parking Garage. Where that Volkswagen Beetle is sitting is now the lobby of the Market Parking Garage. Or the lobby of the Hampton Inn. These are 20-year-old photos you're looking at. This is El Paso, Texas. This is El Paso. Welcome to New Mexico. U.S. Highway 60. This goes through Virginia. This is in Kirkwood, Missouri. What was I doing in St. Louis? Shreveport, Louisiana. This was off an old camera. Here's DieselDucy on my CB radio. A rainbow over North Carolina. A Volkswagen Bug up at the footbridge with Nick. Yes, I've been to all 50 states. I hit my 50th last year. Oh, this is when the bicycle accident happened. September 2004, the bicycle accident I put on my YouTube channel. And then here I saw Darlene. I saw her in Atlanta. This is the last time I ever saw Darlene. Here she is on my phone. This is near Gunnersville, Alabama. These are off a different camera. There's Daddy. That's Dad's car. It's a Camry. That's when I stopped. There's some birds eating bugs off a grill. And this came off another camera. There's the old Kroger store in St. Louis. Downtown St. Louis. There's the old Busch Stadium, y'all. This is iconic. This is the old Busch Stadium. Here's a friend of mine that was running 2 logbooks, which is highly illegal. This is in a Schneider terminal. All right, now I'm back home. There's me taking a picture of me in the mirror. I don't know where Vinny's Pizza is. I'd probably close. There's me taking a picture of me. There's the Iowa 80. First time I'd ever been there. Where are we going now? We're in Wyoming. Where are we going? Oh, this was cool. I don't know where this was. Mile marker 80. Let's see here. I-80. 82, 87 mile marker. And this is that South Dakota? Utah. This is driving through Utah. Ogden, Utah. Now we're in Idaho. That's Boise, Idaho. Now we're in Oregon. Welcome to Oregon. Sad thing is, 30 years from now, people will look at these pictures of cars on the interstate, and they're all going to be antique. I was going to Portland, Oregon. Nick is my stepson. Look at the speed limit signs out there. This is Cabbage Hill, which is really pretty. Was it over 20 years old? Oh, back when I was in love. Now we're in Washington State. This is the Columbia River Gorge from the Cape Horn Overlook. You can see my truck there. This right here is such a pretty picture on an old point and shoot camera. There's a steam train. I took a lot of pictures the first time this is the first time I'd ever been to these states. Oh, it was funny. I posted this in Photography is Not a Crime, because I was simply taking a picture of this post office. And after I had gotten done taking pictures, the lady that worked there came out the door and accused me of being a terrorist. And I was taking a picture from a public street. But yeah, this was on Photography is Not a Crime, because she basically accused me of being a terrorist for wanting to take a picture of a post office. And this is out in the middle of nowhere, too. Roosevelt, Washington. I might have to log back into the Wi-Fi to look at the geotag, and I'll show you where it is. Hold on, I'm logging back in the Wi-Fi. Or did the Wi-Fi just totally crap the bed? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the Wi-Fi here. Let me try disconnecting and reconnecting. I think the Wi-Fi here just crapped the bed. Yeah, let's see here. I'm trying to log back into the... Yeah, I got to put the... Hold on, I got both hands. I need to use both hands. Hold on. That's why the geotags are not loading. There we go. Now I'm logged back in. Now the geotags should load. Yeah, look. See, this is just a little podunk town in Washington along the Columbia River. See, look at this. It's just a teeny little town off a 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere in Washington State. And yeah, photography is not a crime. Oh, why are you taking pictures of the post office? That's like terrorist. I was like, I was taking a picture because I'm a tourist. So I'm a tourist, not a terrorist. And I did this at a rest area in Oregon. I did this in a rest area in Oregon. And I put my website and time. Yeah, I wrote it. See, Andrew and Melinda, I took a permanent marker and wrote at a scenic overlook. Sadly, that's not the case right there. Sadly, that's not the case. It's probably been painted over dozens of times because there was a lot of writing up there. It was at this scenic overlook. Look at this. They have triple trucks out there. Here's another really nice photo I took of the sunset out there in Oregon. Yes, she's my ex-wife. Where am I off? Okay, now I'm back in Wyoming, so I guess... Oh, this is my old website. Oh my gosh, I hosted it on eBay, I think. This is my old website. That was one of my trainers at Schneider. Oh, this was some random person I met in a traffic jam. She saw me with my camera and she screamed at me to take a picture. So I took a picture of this random truck driver as we were sitting in a traffic jam. There's Melinda. This was at one of Nick's things. Let me get back where I'm on the road again. Oh, yeah. This was a load of engine parts I had. There's the old Schnucks in St. Louis. These are my storage lockers in Kentucky. Oh, she was definitely a Karen. Yeah. All this stuff. I'm mad. Melinda gave away my stereo. She gave away so much of my stuff. I'm pissed at her for that. And this was this locker. I think I have some video clips of loading the scooter when I was cleaning it out. Where are we now? We're in Iowa. This was a Bosselman's truck stop. They were so nice. They even had a glass elevator there. These are all old photos. Oh, Eisenhower Tunnel. First time I'd ever been through there. I don't know where this is. Loma Boat Launch. I don't know where that is. Somewhere in Colorado, I assume. It's sitting in my storage bin, and here we are going back into Utah. I don't know what I'm doing out there. This is at a rest area. This is what Utah looks like. That's off Interstate 70. Ghost Rock Rest Area. It was so... I saw a lot driving that truck. And I was seeing all this stuff for the first time. That's why I was taking all these pictures. I think this is my first time in Arizona. There's Nevada, Las Vegas. That's a trashy town. Yeah, that's a trashy town. Well, I actually got a good picture of the sign while I was driving into town. And then I walked around. That's the first time I went up in the Eiffel Tower. I took a picture of my truck parked over the truck stop. There's my truck right there. The Wild Wild West truck stop. I'll tell you, I was telling a friend of mine, if you want to see America, drive a truck for 2 years. Drive a truck for 2 years and you will see the whole country. But yeah, this was Las Vegas at night. Thanks, Nate. This is in November 2004. This is on Route 66. I don't like Vegas either. This is in Kingman, Arizona. Oh my gosh. Kingman? Me and Zach went there. This is US 60 out in Arizona. Fun fact, this road goes right through Virginia. Humphreys Peak off Interstate 40. This is Interstate 40. I'm just looking at some old pictures. First time I really saw a cactus. Apache Drive-In off US Highway 60. And here's the Salt River Canyon. There's my truck down there. This is one of the coolest places I've seen, right off Route 60. There's my Schneider truck. God, it seemed like this was just yesterday. Now it's 20 years ago. Look at me. There I am. Fat as can be. Here's my truck parked at the scenic overlook. I went down to the river and took a picture of the old Route 60 bridge. And more of the Salt River Canyon, which I thought was really pretty. Alright, there's where my truck was stuck in the mud. It was literally sinking and I had to jump out of it. And this was actually in a parking lot. That was a storage locker I had in New York. McDonald's in Canada. There's Daddy and Whataburger. Las Vegas has always been pretty trashy. It's never really been a nice place. I don't remember who this was. This was a guy I used to be friends with. His name was Rich Phillips. And that's the TA in Jessup. Oh, Super Technocat. Haven't seen you in a long time. This was a meme that was made about me on a bulletin board for Schneider. And it was basically commemorating when I got on a radio show. This is hilarious. This was a meme for when I called in on a trucking radio show. Someone made this on Pumpkin Driver. Aw. This was an apartment we looked at, but I'm kind of glad we didn't get it because this house burned down about 6 months after we didn't get it. This house burned down. Where are we now? This is Williamsburg, Kentucky. There's Evan. That's Melinda's other son. Alright, this is probably a Christmas trip, so I'm going to just skip over that. Oh, we're back on the road. Flying J in Tallahassee. Piss bottles and shit bags. Piss bottles and shit bags. Ew. This is Daddy, his ex-wife, and daughter-in-law. Zach's doing good. There's Daddy. I saw Daddy every time I went through San Antonio. And I went through Texas a lot on Interstate 10. Alright, where are we now? Norton Avenue somewhere. Chino, California. I was on my way to California. This is in Chino, California. Which Alex? Oh, Alex is on. In-N-Out Burger. Funny thing is, here in just a few weeks, you're going to see me in Maine. This is down by the Pacific Ocean. That's the Pacific Ocean. DieselDucy at the Pacific Ocean. This is Queen Creek Tunnel on US 60. There's the Salt River Canyon again. I guess I'm driving back east. These are off an old camera. Yeah, I was driving east, and now here I am in Maine. A week later, I'm on the beach in Maine. So I go from California to Maine. And I think this is where there's the Noble Lighthouse. That's where I got fascinated with it. That's the first time I ever saw it. I want a CD player out of that was in York, Maine. That's the Noble Lighthouse. I took Zach there recently. This is the first time I ever went there in 2005, January 2005. Now we're back home. There's a presidential motorcade. I think George Bush's limo. I don't know how I ended up seeing that. Hey, Super Techno, thanks for coming in. There's my old truck and Melinda's car. Someone wrote boobs in the snow out on this lake. I think this is when I was on a Georgia Pacific dedicated account. Well, I used to go back between upstate New York and Big Island. There's my truck parked in Bedford. Look what Melinda's son did to the snowman. Nick built a snowman, and Melinda's son did that. Melinda's other son. Yeah, this is when I was on a dedicated account between Big Island, Georgia Pacific, Big Island, and Batavia, New York. There's Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Bradford, Pennsylvania, McDonald's. There's the old, I think that's the Monarch Elevator in Lynchburg. Again, okay, there's a train. There's a train in Bedford. I hate the, oh yeah, I rescued these people out of a flood in Fogelsville, Pennsylvania. There's my bicycle when it was new. I'll skip all the home pictures. That's when I got my T1. I got my T1 April of 2005. That's when we lived in Bedford. Yeah, because when I was on this dedicated account, I got home every 2 or 3 days. That's one of Nick's birthdays, so I'm going to skip over a lot of that. There's my old camera. Oh, where am I now? This was the first time me and Melinda went on the New River Trail. There's Jacksonville, Florida. That's another kind of crappy place. There was this turtle in the middle of the road. I stopped my truck, picked him up, and moved him off the road. I set him in the grass where he was safe. Okay, Interstate 20 off Texas. There's Whataburger in Canton. This is where I caught lightning. I caught this in Tulsa, Oklahoma at a Flying J truck stop. And I sold that camera. Oh, look at this. No lot lizards, no... This sign is hilarious. Look at this. No trespassing, no drug dealing, no... This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. No lot lizards. This isn't an actual business in Texas. This is hilarious. There's my truck parked in there. There's an old Freightliner. This is on the North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia state line. A lot lizard is a trucker slang term for a prostitute. And believe me, lot lizards are very common in urban truck stops. This is on the Blue Ridge Parkway. There's Melinda's dad working on his boat. That's up at Sharp Top. There's just more Blue Ridge Parkway stuff. New River Trail again. This is near the Pennsylvania-New York state line. Here we are back in York, Maine again. That's my old MySpace profile picture right there. That is my old MySpace profile picture. But yeah, this is my old MySpace profile picture. And look, you can see my truck parked up there on the road. But yeah, this is the beach at York, Maine. And of course, I had to see the Nubble Lighthouse again. I'm glad I went back there with Zach and got to get some proper pictures. This is a sunset over Auburn Lake in Maine. I just thought it was cool how I caught the guy fishing on the boat with the sunset in the background. And this was all this was taken on the T1. These were all on the T1 camera. That was a cool truck. And here we are back in St. Louis. There's the old Busch Stadium. Crossing the state line. This is in Jefferson City. There's a sunset over Jefferson City, an old Mack truck. This is coming into Chicago. That's someone's phone next door. Oh crap, I need to turn my phone to where it'll receive calls in case the railroad tries to call. Don't want to miss that call. This is driving through Chicago. And I think this is the day I quit Schneider. Yep, I quit Schneider. Or no, I'm still driving for Schneider. This is up in Canada. More old trucks. This is a rare truck, a Marmon. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Marmon trucks. They were like really rare. I'm glad I got some pictures of those trucks. This was going to another family reunion in Balls Creek, Maryland. I'm first out. There we go. I'm going to get called soon. I don't know what hotel this was in. It was when my truck was in the shop. Here's an old KW. I think this is 1960-something Kenworth. It's for sale, so I climbed around and looked in it. That's an old Kenny Whopper right there. Diesel was $2.35 a gallon. That was filling up my truck. So yeah. There's Nick. Breast Transportation. Oh, this is a rare truck right here. Peterbilt 372. That's a rare truck. You will never see those anymore. Call them the football helmet. There's an old Freightliner. Okay, these are not my pictures. Those are. This is the Bedford Fire Station. This was a 4th of July, and here's another meme that was made about my DieselDucy noise toy. Actually, this was about the DieselDucy song. This is a meme about the DieselDucy song. Here's where I had a truck that was turning over 1,000,000 miles. I got to drive a vehicle that turned over 1,000,000 miles. Yep, this is my truck turning over 1,000,000 miles. Had like 800,000 when I got it. This is coming into Cincinnati. That's driving down into Cincinnati. I don't know. Okay, here, Seville, Ohio. Valparaiso, Indiana. This was a Walmart distribution center. This was an old computer I had. There's another old cab over truck. I think this one's a Kenworth. I really need to upload these pictures, these vintage trucks I have. There's an old Peterbilt. That's a wart on my foot that I had a long time ago. This is in Lynchburg. This is when we went on a field trip with Nick to a Civil War thing. Oh, this is off Interstate 40 outside of Knoxville. This is Cato Mills, Texas, I think. That was a friend of mine I met. He used to drive a truck. I still know him. Oh, this was another friend of mine, Keith Bridges. I don't know if I thought I had him on Facebook. I want to get back in touch with him. He's a nice guy. This is going over one of the temporary bridges on Interstate 10 after they were wiped out by the hurricane. Walt Disney World. There's my truck in the parking lot of Walt Disney World. This is Walt Disney World in 2005, and where I recorded me screaming like a girl on a roller coaster. And there's the roller coaster that I recorded that on. So I hope you guys are enjoying this throwback trip through my photos. I'm just showing you what you can see if you drive a truck. Every one of these pictures I'm showing you is from when I drove a truck. There is my first CDL in Virginia. All right, this is more home time. Oh, this is when I parked in a spot I wasn't supposed to be in. I think this is when I quit Schneider. I don't know. Sometime in 2005, I quit Schneider. I think this is the only view of the outside of the market parking garage. I took a picture of Nick in the elevator. I wish I had taken a picture before they started refurbishing it. There's the center of the square garage. There's Nick. Okay, this is what the outside of the market parking garage used to look like. There is Nick in the market parking garage elevator. Downtown Roanoke. There's the Roanoke Star. Dad came to visit. Then I started my new job at Swift, where I delivered the Volvos to dealers. I delivered new trucks, which you'll see here in a minute. This was while I was in training. I delivered Volvo trucks to dealerships. And there's the first load of trucks I took. You had to use a chain hoist to pick them up. It's an old Swift truck. Here's I'm going into New Brunswick. That's on the plane on the way back. Probably going to see some old airplanes here. I don't know what airline that is. This was a Com airplane. Look at some of these old liveries. You're probably going to see a lot of old airplanes here. Here we are back home. Okay, here's me undecking trucks. This is somewhere in Canada. I left a bathtub ring because I was so dirty from undecking the trucks. This was a Best Western. They had Otis Lex and elevators. And there was the emergency phone in the elevator. I wish I had known I was going to film. I would have videotaped all these old elevators. More on another camera. This is in Dothan, Alabama. That's a limo coming back from New York. Sometimes they put us a limo because it was cheaper than flying us. If we went under like 1,000 miles, they'd usually bring us back in a limo or something, or a rental car. Oh, this was quite the trip. This is from Dublin, Virginia to Fontana, California. The wind blew that off. This is out in Bel Air Motel in Vaughn, New Mexico. US 60 again. Here we are in Arizona at the Salt River Canyon again. I overheated my brakes going down it. I was there with Schneider. That was one of my favorite places. And here we are at Whataburger in Phoenix, Arizona. And here we are in California. There's an old cab over truck. I saw in my rear view mirror an old Freightliner on Interstate 10. There's a Love's in Coachella, California. This is the Econo Lodge I stayed at in San Bernardino. Yep, I've been over to Honor Summit. That's me with my sunburned arm from hanging out the window. This is a girl I met at the airport. There's the plane I flew back on. It was a big jet. I was so tired. From Ontario, California to... Now I flew on this, I think from Atlanta to Roanoke. Okay, there's the... Okay. I actually stayed at this hotel one time, the Tennessee Mountain Inn, and there's the glass elevator, which is now defunct. So there's my trucks. There's the glass elevator. It is up on my YouTube, but it used to talk. Here's some US Express. This was a cool plane. I flew on this plane. This was a cool plane at the Oklahoma City Airport. That was a cool little plane. Northwest Airlines had some weird planes. And there's a picture out the window. This was another plane I flew on. Northwest Airlines was terrible, at least when I was dealing with them. I think those are old JT8D engines. Northwest Airlines was terrible. All right, I'm back home again. Now I'm in Kentucky. This is US 60 in Kentucky. I don't know where I was taking these trucks. There's the train in downtown Paducah. This is driving over the Route 60 bridge. Where was I? Sykeston, Missouri is where I was going. And here I am in St. Louis where I walked across the bridge because I parked at the gambling hall. Okay, this is the old Dover elevator at the Galleria being ripped out and modernized. That's Osasu McDonald's. I don't know where that is. I'm in Montana now. Somewhere in Montana. Fort Peck, Montana is where this was called. Oh, God, there's some foreshadowing right there. That was up in Montana. That thing's a piece of junk. 9570. That's some foreshadowing. This is Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This was an elevator in my hotel. There's a plane I flew from Edmonton, Alberta to Seattle. I don't know what airline that is. I can't see the side of the plane. That's where I got burned. Winnipeg. I don't know where I'm flying to there. I was going home somewhere. I flew several times a week with that old job. This is the Iowa 80 again. There's my trucks. This is the Continental Divide. Where was I going this time? Probably Seattle. This is in Idaho. Like I said, I got a lot of beautiful pictures driving a truck. And like I said, if you drive a truck, you can see all this. You get paid to see it too. This is out in Idaho off US 95. Thanks to my old job, I've been around the country more than anyone else on here, unless they're a truck driver. Idaho is really pretty. We are now in Washington again. Now this is pretty. This is going up US 12 in Washington, driving up out of the fog. All these were taken on my Sony T1 camera. And here's the first time I ever saw Seattle. Well, there's Mount Rainier. There's Seattle. There's the Space Needle. And this is flying home. This is flying home. Okay, more off an old camera. I probably should delete those. Let's. Oh, this. Okay, there's a U.S. Airways. Oh, this was one hell of a trip. Took 2 weeks. I was going from Roanoke to Prince George, British Columbia. Let me go pee. I'll be right back, and I'm going to mute so I don't stream the stream. But this trip has a story. After I get done with these photos, we're going to go do another team treadmill workout here. So it's after midnight. Let me check on the phone's battery real quick. It's at 38%. All right, this is one hell of a story right here. These were going from Dublin, Virginia. I don't like the way these stupid pictures are showing up in here. I might delete them. I ended up in Moorhead, Minnesota, where I got stuck in a blizzard for several days. Here's my XM radio antenna frozen. This was at a Days Inn. And from there, I had to go to somewhere in Manitoba. And I'm in North Dakota now. No, let's see here. I'm in North Dakota. The truck breaks down. Brand new truck breaks down. I have no sweater or anything, and it's like 4 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I was able to climb up in that truck and get it started to keep warm till they towed it. So now I'm stuck in Grand Forks, North Dakota, while they're fixing the truck. And now we're back on the road going toward Winnipeg. This is in Brandon, Manitoba. And then I end up back in Calgary where another blizzard comes and I'm stuck here for 3 days. Look at the elevators in the hotel. This was the travel lodge. Those were the elevators. And then I finally decide to leave. And I'm going up to Prince George, British Columbia. And I end up on this road that goes through Banff National Park. And it said travel wasn't recommended. This was beautiful but scary. And this is some of the sights I saw in the national park. Frozen waterfalls. Here's my truck for comparison. The road got progressively worse. There's a frozen waterfall. It was beautiful. Another frozen waterfall. And here's coming into British Columbia. They say the best place on earth. And here's the truck after, right before I delivered it. This plane flew from, I think, Prince George to Vancouver. Then I went Vancouver to Seattle, Seattle to Detroit, and then this thing right here. This is an old Saab with, let me see if I can even zoom in. It's Northwest Airlines. This plane right here, we took off from Detroit and had to turn around to make an emergency landing because the hydraulics in the plane went out. And then I finally made it home. It took like 20 hours to fly from Prince George, British Columbia to Roanoke, Virginia. And that was another St. Louis run. Here I am on top of the Gateway Arch, all dirty after putting trucks together. I was huge too. Look how dirty I am because I just got done putting trucks together. From the top of the Gateway, there's Metrolink. This was cool because, let me see if I can find the picture of it. That was back when Famous Bar was open. That's at Union Station when I filmed the Westinghouse elevator. I rode on the Metrolink car that President Bill Clinton rode on. This is in the St. Louis airport. There's a view from the top of Barnes Hospital. There's the St. Louis Science Center. This is in Amarillo, Texas. I guess I was going out west again. Yep, I was going to California again. Back out to California again. I went out to California a lot. This is, let's see here. Actually, I went to Phoenix, Arizona that time. There's Glenn. I ended up on the same plane with him. All right, now we're getting, okay, there's Chris. Okay, let's see here. This was just going up to Pennsylvania somewhere. Somerset, Pennsylvania. This is West Palm Beach, Florida. This is flying home from, I took some trucks down to Florida. I guess that's the plane I flew on right there. That was not my damage, but that was where someone forgot to set a parking brake on a brand new truck. This is Racine, Wisconsin. Okay, some timestamps must be off. Okay, I'm going out west again. I'm going out to Vegas. I was going out to Las Vegas. There's my trash in the truck before I emptied it. See all the different restaurants I went to. Yep, here I am in Las Vegas at the airport. This is leaving Las Vegas. Okay, this is in Milwaukee. This is in Rockford, Illinois. I don't really know where that is, but I went there. And here's where I actually drove a van for Swift after they lost that account. February 16th, 2006. I drove, let's skip all those. I think I have a video on YouTube of these things being unloaded from my truck. I think there's a YouTube video. I think I have a video on YouTube from this place. Here's my Vino. Murray State. Is this thing still working? Yeah. Oh, John Deere fan's on. That's a girl that used to like me. And here we are in South Dakota. I took Zach to this very bridge when I was up there. I graduated Murray State. This is in, I guess South Dakota. I don't know. I think this was my last trip, so I took a lot of pictures. Powder River Pass. I don't know where that is. I'm glad I have all these pictures. And this is Melinda's dad's funeral. I'm on Interstate 40 in Arizona again. I guess I'm going to either Phoenix. No, this is when I got stuck out in California running doubles between Los Angeles and San Francisco after I put my 2-week notice in. No, I'm on my way back east here. They stuck me out in California after I put my 2-week notice in. There's the Veneta McDonald's. There's Roanoke. Oh, here's an old truck. That's where someone backed into my truck. Someone dropped a trailer. All right. I have been everywhere because I drove a truck. I think this is my last run here. I think, yeah, May, because I quit driving over the road. Yeah, this is when they shipped me out to California. There's Berthoud Pass. That place is amazing. I've been there multiple times. Eisenhower Tunnel, Loveland Pass. Yep, they're sending me out to California. There's Las Vegas again. And yep, this is when they stuck me out in California, running between Los Angeles and San Francisco, doing these doubles. They finally got me back home. And now, after this, there's San Francisco. This is off the US 101. There's my truck. I think I'm on my... No, I'm still in California. That's Phoenix. Okay, I'm going back. Phoenix, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And now I am back home. And I went up and worked at the paper mill. I did this from May, let's see here. I did this from May 2006. We're going to skip ahead a little bit here. Now we're July, August, September, now we're in October. Skipping all these pictures, taking some fall pictures along the Blue Parkway. So this whole time I'm working as a yard driver up at the paper mill. Oh, here's an old locomotive for y'all. I don't know what type this is, but look at this. Here's an old locomotive, an old GE. All right, this is the 10-mile hike. Oh, remember this? This is the old Monarch elevator, and this is what the elevators in the Lynchburg City Hall looked like before they were modded. Dover with armor. All right, now we're in 2007. And something happened in February 2007 here, you're going to see. All right, January 25th. All right, February 2007. I got my job with Norfolk Southern. This is down at the training center in Atlanta. That's right. There's at the training center at Norfolk Southern. There's my badge picture. This is my first train I ever took. One coming home. And these are some old pictures from work that were taken before the electronics ban. There's me while still a trainee. That's me on a back locomotive. And I've been on the railroad ever since, except when I got laid off in 2008 and 2009. So yeah, this is some pictures. That's shit, where's that? That's Vicar. There's Cowan Tunnel. This is up in Bluefield. Days in Princeton. But yeah, these are some really old photos from work from 2007. This is when I was still in training. This is inside a locomotive going 30 miles an hour. This is on a caboose down in Bristol. That was when I was training on the Bristol shifter. There's burning incense on a locomotive. That's Shane Flick. I miss him. I'm still friends with him, but he lives down in Bristol now. I don't know what tunnel that is. This must be on the Bristol. No, that's Whitethorn. There's the Merrimack Tunnel. That tunnel is over a mile long. Ah, the good old days of the railroad, back when it was fun. There's some snow at work. That's looking back on a coal train. There's my truck turning over 22222. And we're going to wrap this thing up. I'll show you something funny that was in the Radford. These were actually used on the Salem shifter. Let's see, that's going up to Devil's Marble Yard. It got about 22, 23 miles a gallon. These are old pictures from work, really old pictures from work. 3222, that engine is long gone. This was the V34 out of Bluefield, which no longer runs. That's the old Matt's Hotel, which caved in on itself. That's up in Bluefield. Here's my rocks. That's me, still a student conductor. See, the red hat meant I was a student conductor. There's Montgomery Tunnel before they raised it. Look at the old signal there. That's one of the old signals. This is coming into Bristol. This is in Bristol. Look at the old engine, old Conrail engine. Here's me taking a picture in the mirror, which obviously we're not allowed to do anymore. This is on a Radford shifter. And I'm going to end this here in just a minute once I... oh, there's an old Conrail motor in Lynchburg. There's just some locks I bought. Smart car. This is on the bike path. Okay, I gotta tell you something. Every Norfolk Southern locomotive has a sign that says, "No job is so important, no service is so urgent that we cannot take the time to perform our work safely." In Radford, almost 20 years ago, look what someone did to the sign. That is hilarious. And pretty much, I've been on the railroad ever since. So now, I'm going to do another team treadmill workout. And you guys are going to come with me. So 2 workouts in 1 live stream. If the phone holds out, this will be like a record. I mean, that just shows you how wonderful employee morale is on the railroad. That was like 20 years ago, too. But yeah, I have, like I said, that's not even half my photos. So I have over 80,000 photos. So yeah. We're going to use the toilet, and then we're going to go downstairs and do another 30-minute workout. If the phone doesn't die. Let me see. Let me get my reading glasses on so I can read the battery meter. Oh, I hope I didn't lose my reading glasses at work. No, here they are. So we'll see what the battery said on this phone. Or 30%. It'll do a 30-minute workout. I'll be right back. I have to go pee. I hope y'all are enjoying this. I would bring the iPad to do the workout, but I'm on call, so I have to be able to take my call while I'm down there. We're gonna go downstairs and do another team treadmill workout. That way I can get my rings closed for the day. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I really hope you guys are enjoying this. If the phone I hope the phone doesn't die for 30. Yeah, hopefully it'll last 30 minutes. Oh, I don't need my reading glasses to do a workout, but I do need water. Let me see here. I have soda. Sugar. I can't plug it in down there. I hate to dump out my soda, but I don't drink soda when I'm working out. I can stream for about 3 or 4 hours on a full battery, and we've been on here. Yeah, live streaming is pretty bandwidth intensive. Here we go. Let me see here. We're going to go downstairs now. Let me see what the battery's at. Yeah, so yeah, it'll definitely handle a 30-minute workout. Got the phone. Ooh, got my key card. Let me make sure it works still. Yeah, it does. I can't wait till I get called to work so I can go by sheets. So we're probably going to end this shortly after I get done working out. Gosh, I wish the elevator was here. I go down the steps, but I can never remember what end of the building the fitness room is on. I think it's at this end of the building. But yeah, this is the elevator here in this wonderful hotel, which, by the way, at first I hated this hotel, but now, like I said, they are so good to us here. The staff in this hotel is really good to us. We're just gonna get my exercise ring closed. I'm gonna be sore as can be after this. There's one more cookie in the cookie jar. I might eat that afterwards. But we all know the exercise room is down here at the end of the hall. We have to pick another team treadmill workout to do. Thought about doing the elliptical, but I just want to run. This one's going to be harder because my body hasn't recovered from the last one. I'll pick something that gives me some easy recoveries. It is freezing in here, but that's how you want it when you're exercising. All right, guys, deja vu. I think this is the first one. I've done 2 workouts in one live stream. This will get my exercise ring closed for the day. And if I go on another run today, out when I get home outside. All right, does this look familiar? Tap to start. Let's do a manual workout and we'll find another team treadmill. I hope the railroad didn't call in the middle of this because it'll mess up my workout. Woo! At 1 mile an hour start. Let's just pick a random 30-minute one. Fitness Plus, Team Treadmill. I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream, guys. I really do. Let's just scroll down to the middle of the thing and we'll see. Let's see what this one is. I've already done it. This workout has 3 long hills, followed by 3 all-out speed pushes. I think I can do that. Let's do that. That's challenging, but it won't kill me. So we will do some all-out pushes on this workout.
Yes, what's up in Treadmill team? It's Jamie right at the Fitness Plus studio in LA. My teammates, Ben who's walking, and Kim who's running.
Get the safety on. I'm just going to go into base space here. Yeah, I'm sore. Let me warm up here. Hold on. Slow down. Forward. Maybe I should stretch out a little bit. Oh yeah, my knees are sore. This is going to be tough. All right, let's get up to 4. And gradually work up the base pace. Oh, my right knee is so sore. All right, we're at 4.5. There, now I'm comfortable. There we go, a nice comfortable 5 mile an hour. We'll get my exercise ring closed early. The longest we go all out for is 30 seconds, so I can handle that. And now I feel all loosened up. We're going to be base pace for a while. doing a long hill, then 3 all-out speed pushes at 30 seconds, which is doable. All right. This is still moderate. 3% moderate. Still moderate. So you bump the speed up a little bit for that. Hard. 6 and 6, 6 mile an hour. All right, I got speed pushing. We're going to go 10 miles an hour. All right, going all out. 30 seconds, 3 times. $10 miles an hour. All out. Four easy. $10 miles an hour all out. Four. Four easy. I think we can back up the base station now. still at moderate. Harder. 6. All up, 76%. Walk it out. Now we're back into it. Back to easy run. Got 3 all-out speed pushes. All out 10. Hang on out. Get them all out. Oh, that's covering. Forward. There we go. Yeah, one more hill, and 3 more speeds. Three at 5. %, 5 miles an hour. At 6. Hard. 10. All out 10. Three. Last push. Last push. Okay. Easy. Exercise room closed. Miles. Oh, that was good. Oh. Well, we've done 51 miles this month. Whew, got another 5K. We're already at 5,000 steps for the day. All right, we're done. Definitely hard. Yep. Day has barely started. I've got my exercise very close. Walk it out for 2 more minutes. If I can run tonight, in the past 24 hours, I've ran 9 miles. This is all fat that's going away. being built. I'll give it 2 more minutes. To cool off. And while I'm doing that, I'll get a few steps in. Now this time for real, I'm going to take a shower. See if my heart rate's recovered. There's the hill, awesome. About 15 more seconds, we'll hop off and go up the steps. I'll definitely get my 10,000 steps in today. All right, 10 more seconds, we'll stop. It's like to cool off, not come to a dead stop. There, 35 minutes. There we go, we're done. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I think this is the first one I've ever done where we've exercised twice in the same live stream, and my phone is at 15% still. Yeah, I can't believe it. I know my live streams here in the hotel are very, very boring, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Because I've never done 2 team treadmills during the same live stream. But now I got my rings closed for today and tomorrow. Maybe I did. Oh. Well, I'll probably do when I get home tonight. This evening, I'll do a time to run. I think I'm out of Diet Pepsi. But yeah, guys, this has been fun. But I need to get in the shower. And I'm out of food. So I'll have to wait till I get home to work to eat. I'll finish up my Diet Pepsi. But I hope you guys have enjoyed being here with me. Been here for almost 3 hours. Looked at a lot of pictures. Exercised twice and just chilled out. Someone gave us a really nice super chat, which I'm very grateful for. So I really hope you guys know how much I love you guys and appreciate each and every one of y'all. But I'm going to go and hang up now. But I love you guys. This has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for the wonderful company. So until next time, bye y'all.